Hey there, I'm Obelisk and I'm going to be walking you through another Truffleframework.com Ethereum tutorial. So the tutorial we're doing today is OpenZeppelin. OpenZeppelin is basically a library that helps you make token contracts a lot easier. So in Ethereum you need to make smart contracts, and one of the currencies you use besides Ether is tokens just to handle all your transactions. And using OpenZeppelin you can make those token contracts a lot easier. So we're going to be going through this tutorial. And what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm opening our Ubuntu 16 Linux virtual machine. If you watched the last two videos, or maybe one video, it doesn't matter, the pet shop tutorial video that we did, we set up this environment for this virtual machine that let us do everything for Truffle and Node, and we basically set everything up that we need to, and I'm coming right back to it. So if you didn't watch the first video on the pet shop, I suggest you do that right now, because this tutorial is actually pretty quick. I'm not gonna lie, this one's really a breeze if we did the first one. I'm gonna make it look so simple. It's gonna be really fun. It's not fun, it's just seeing it in action. You're gonna see a new library that you can learn. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to truffleframework.com and we're going to search the tutorial we were just looking at. You are free to look at your own tutorial and try to do others besides the ones I'm doing in this video, but for now we'll just be doing this one, the robust smart contracts with OpenZeppelin. You're free to read this stuff yourself, but I'm just going to try to work through making sure that it works, because that's the most important part. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove MetaMask from Chrome, because MetaMask, and we're going to reinstall it. The reason being is that MetaMask is very tricky to work with, and I don't find it easy to create a new account at all. I find it very annoying, actually. So this is one of those things that's probably bad practice. It's not really that bad practice, but when you really need to get stuff done, this is how you do it. And I just find removing it and then adding it again is much quicker than doing anything else. So our requirement for this is Truffle, Ethereum, Solidity, and let's get started. I said it before. If you did the pet shop tutorial, this is going to be a quick one. We're going to be super easy. We did the pet shop tutorial, and now let's do this. We're unboxing the front end application. So we're going to create a new folder called Oz Workspace, it says, and we're going inside of it, and we're going to open a terminal. And it seems like they did it using the command line, but we don't need to do that. We can just do it right in our folders. We're independent people, right? We can do whatever we want to do, and that's the way we felt like doing it. Sometimes it's good to do things you're familiar with. So we're unboxing the code. They prepared some code for us for this tutorial called tutorial token, and we're just going to use it for us. They're handling the front end. They created all the HTML, the CSS, the JavaScript, all the normal web app stuff they did, and what they want us to focus on in this tutorial isn't that, but actually writing the smart contract and deploying it. So we unboxed it, you can see it all right here, and next we have to install the Zeppelin library, which is the whole point of this tutorial, to show how you can use this library to make, token contracts easier? Yeah. So we're npm installing that library, and that's it. It looks like it worked out. There's a few warnings, but it doesn't really matter to us. And what we're going to do next is we're going to create the smart contract. So we're going to our contracts folder, and we're going to make the contract that we're going to run. So we're going to create a new document. We're going to call it tutorial token.solidarity contract. Not contract, it's a file. And inside that file we're going to start with our basic solidarity code. We're setting up a contract. Excuse me. And inside that contract we're going to have some default parameters, just some regular variables. We're going to put it inside the contract, brackets, and we're also going to create this function inside the contract, the default function with the same name, tutorial token as a contract. So this is what gets called anytime the contract gets called. And that's it. That's our contracts. Just a few lines of code. Pretty good. I told you we're going to be breezing through this. So next, we've got this code, right? But we need to actually migrate it onto a blockchain. It's not good just sitting here on a computer. We need to play with it on the blockchain. So we're going to do that by migrating it, and we're going to create a file in the migrations folder, and that file is going to be called to-deploy-contracts.js, a JavaScript file. We're going to open it up, and we're going to add this code to it, and yeah, that's it. We migrated with that few lines of code. So now here's where the magic happens. We need to do truffle develop, and that's where Truffle sets everything up for us. Now this is important. Listen to what I'm saying. Truffle develop starts out Truffle, and what it does is it says at this localhost 9545, Truffle is going to set up our environment for us so that we can test this code. They create 10 Ethereum accounts for us. These are addresses of accounts, and they also have this mnemonic that is going to help us. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste this mnemonic, and now we're going to configure MetaMask for this new Truffle develop that we did. It's important. You should think when you do truffle.develop, that's when you need to configure MetaMask, because that's the easiest time. So we're going to accept that, we're going to accept this, and we're going to import existing den because Truffle made us one. So we're going to copy and paste the mnemonic. We're going to enter a password for what we want, and now we have our account. But what we want to do is Truffle set up our account on this local host, right? So we should go to that network. We don't want to go to any other network. So we're going to say HTTP localhost 9545. And just like that, we're on a private network. And if we go back in the settings, you can see we have 100 Ether, because that means it worked. That means we're connected to the network that Truffle created for us. And now our MetaMask is set up, and we're happy. So getting back to it, now that MetaMask is set up, we need to compile our code, our Solidarity contract that we wrote before. And it works. And now we need to migrate this code to our local host, basically, or wherever we're migrating to. Great, that was easy. And okay, that's what we see. Now we need to interact with this token. So everything is good so far, but now we need to play with it. So now I'm going to press Control and C to exit out of that, and we're going to run our code. So remember, when we did the unboxing, Truffle created all this code for us and all this stuff to make a front-end application so that we could just worry about the Solidarity code. You'd have to do this yourself, but instead Truffle took care of it, and we did npm run, and this is the app that shows up. This is our app, and you can see we have 12,000 tokens, which corresponds to our default parameters, because up here we have TT, tutorial tokens. That's a symbol for our token, and we said we're gonna have 12,000 of them, and yeah, we do have that. So this is what our app looks like. If we keep going with the tutorial, you'll see this is exactly what we expected to see. So far so good. And our basic DApp, decentralized app, shows the tutorial balance. And now what we want to do is, well, we configured MetaMask, and if you scroll up, you'll see that our 10 accounts were these 10 addresses, right? Take a look at this. The address for this account is 62730, right? And if you look at our first account, 62730. So basically, MetaMask is saying this first account is the one we're playing with. And this first account is the one that's associated right here with our function that has the 12,000 tokens. But what we want to do is we want to transfer some of these tokens. That's the next part of this tutorial. We've got the tokens, but we can't just keep it to ourselves. We got to share it with someone else. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer some to this second address that Truffle created for us. So if we go right now and we create a new account, let's create account. You'll see that the address is, what is it, F17F5? F17F5. Yeah, except this time when we refresh the page, this account has 0 tokens because it just didn't get any. That's the way our contract works. So when we go back to the first account, so the point is we want to give this account some tokens, right? So we're going to go back to the first account. We're going to refresh the page. This is the account with 12,000 tokens, and we're going to transfer some to this address. And how many do we want to transfer? The tutorial says to transfer 2,000, but again, we're a little rambunctious, so let's transfer 5,000. So now we see MetaMask is going to pop up, and it's going to say, oh, is this really what you want to do? Do you want to do this transaction? And we'll say, yeah, submit it, do it. And we'll see. I don't know what happened. Let's do it one more time. Transfer successful. I don't know what happened the first time, but transfer successful. So you'll see our balance. Ooh, it happened twice. So we did 5,000 twice. So our first account gave away 5,000 two times, which is 10,000. And if we switch to our second account, account 2, which is associated with this address, and we refresh the page, we're expecting to see 10,000. So the transfer works, right? We had 12,000, we gave 5,000 twice to this second account, and it works. And that's basically what the rest of the tutorial is saying. I sort of did it without reading through the steps, but that's what you need to do. So we created this. So just to recap, because that's the end of the tutorial, we created this smart contract that created some tokens for us, and we were helped out because we used the OpenZeppelin library, right? We used that in a web app so that we could have this interface to actually look at our tokens and be able to transfer it to other addresses. And we use MetaMask to facilitate the transaction. And we can see that, yeah, we can create tokens using an account, and we can transfer tokens. And that's all thanks to Ethereum and the OpenZeppelin library. So if you want to learn more, you can do more, but otherwise, just feel good. We did this really quickly. It was really good. You can look through all the code and try it yourself. And if not, you can try more tutorials on Truffleframework.com. So yeah.